Wiggins coming to you with another webisode of Make Something Happen. I'm on location today with North Coast Media with my friend Lou Acosta, and he's going to share with us the publications and events and different things that he's been doing over the years in his business of celebrating and growing the community of the greater Cleveland area. Lou?
Hi, my name is Lou Acosta. As she says, President and CEO of North Coast Minority Media, LLC, which we have a couple of different divisions where we do magazines, directories, and regular print publications. We also do custom jobs, custom publications. One in particular, when we do things like newsletters. This one in particularly, I work with the Medical Mart, and so I do some of the work for them. I do the interviews and put it together. So this way, we can distribute it as part of our outreach program with them. I also distribute like Metro Health, their newsletters. And we print out other things like the MBE program, Minority Business Entrepreneurs. We also do various directories like the Hispanic Business Resource Directory, and we do some magazines and other publications in the area.
Okay. Well, Lou, also noticed too you have, when you're talking about your MBE, your newspaper, you have one for Latinos as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about the publications and
well, this is one of them.
Okay.
The North Coast Latino, which is a newspaper pretty much. You can see it when we open it up.
Okay.
And we talk about everything happening in the Latino area, in the Latino market for the Latino people pretty much. And we did do it in a bilingual format. So if you pick it up, you want to learn, let's say for instance, Spanish. You can read it in English and in Spanish. Some articles, not all of them, because in our area, 87% of the Latinos do speak English. So we try to do it more in English than in Spanish, and people pick it up. But we also have North Coast Latina, which is basically for women, and that is more of a magazine setup. And as you see it as the North Coast Latino, which is for newspaper, pretty much. The North Coast Latina is more like the regular magazines with a glossy cover and everything in there. And you can advertise in there if you want to reach that Latino market, just as some of the other markets that we do reach.
Okay, and how can one get to be able to get their ad? Where do we go? Is there a website, or we can get down on the bottom of the screen that our viewers can go to?
We have various websites that you can go to, but you can give us a call at 216-394-0772. That's 216-394-0772.
Okay.
And we do have a couple of websites. For instance, if you want to go to the North Coast Latino website, you just go to northcoastlatino.com. That's northcoastlatino.com. We also have North Coast Minority, which is North Coast MBE, the Ohio Music Business Directories, also the Hispanic directories, different ones. We also have the website at www.northcoastmagazines.com. We have www.northcoastpublications.com. So we try to pretty much fit, where our publications are.
Awesome, and we'll get those down on your screen so you'll be able to link off and see what Lou is doing in this awesome business. Well, Lou, give us paint a picture for us, a story of how you got started, how the heart throb of that, the passion that really got you going.
Well, I'm originally from New York, and in the city, up in the Bronx, I started a Kingsbridge news reporter when I was just, pretty much just going into from adolescent into adulthood.
Into manhood.
Yeah, and early on, I used to see the big ads in the big newspapers, and I said to myself, you know what? There's a lot of things here that people don't talk about. A lot of the arts, the entertainment, the things that were coming locally. I mean, New York, you got to understand that local to New York is national everywhere else. But, in our area, you could not get a band or an artist into the major papers like the New York Times, the Daily News, or the New York Post. So we would have to do something like the Bronx News, and even for that, they thought they were too big for us. So we would start our own little 15,000 copy, circulation little newspaper, and we would have all the events that are happening, the dances, the concerts, the local promoters, the the local things happening there, and we pretty much made it our own thing. And then when I moved out here 25 years ago,
Okay.
I pretty much didn't start doing the publication thing till after. What I did was I started doing a lot of events, and I started bringing in bands from New York and Puerto Rico and other places, and had concerts right in the middle of in downtown Cleveland, in Lorraine, and in other areas.
Okay.
And from there, of course, we had to promote. So in promoting, I was using my own, graphics people and my own flyers and things like that. And before you know it, I had to do program guides and I had to do booklets. So one thing led to another, and that's pretty much how I started it. But I did work for a living, outside of just doing that. I started working with Rent-A-Center when I first came out here. Started,
All right.
opening up stores for them all over as a manager. And a couple of other places. For 6 years I did the temp services where I was getting people work all over Cleveland and all over for area temps. All these other guys. Yeah,
we want to hear. I want you to tell us more about that. But right now we're going to hear a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back. When we left off, you were telling us about the different jobs that we have. I think that's key for our viewers. Right now, you're an accomplished, you're a successful businessman, but there's a lot that went on behind that on the way there, the journey. And I think that's important for our viewers to understand. Yes, we're trying to push entrepreneurship, especially in this economy. But there's some things that you need to do and know along the way, and you don't just hop out the box owning a business. You're learning, and some of those jobs that you mentioned, I can't help but believe that those are some skills and things you developed that led up till today. Share more about that.
Yeah, well, the management part, the job development part. For instance, when I was working with the different temp agencies, one of my jobs was business development. Go out and speak to human resource managers, vice presidents, presidents of companies, and try to talk them into allowing us to get employees for them. So in doing that, that was job development. At the same time, we had to learn how to speak to those people, that were in those top positions at those companies, big corporations. And so, these are some of the things you learn, and you learn business itself, as you go. Yeah. Someone the other day was telling me just by getting to do websites and learning about websites, she got to learn, and she's a student, she got to learn on how different people do business, and more so than she learned in school. Because by just her job in asking the questions of the actual people that are doing websites, and she would ask all these business questions and getting the answers back and everything else, she got an education on business itself. So business entrepreneurship, I mean, you can pretty much, if you got laid off, you can try to go and get into a job or into a business, be an entrepreneur. But it's better if you already know something and there's a niche and not everybody's doing it. Because those are the mistakes that people make. In the publishing industry. Just this morning, somebody was telling me about, I like to I like to publish my own entertainment magazine. And then I have to come up with mine and say, well, why would you do that when everybody can go online listen to the radio, TV, or anything else, and get all the entertainment on the spot.
Right.
You know?
So what would that person's angle be that'll be different? That would
Exactly.
make somebody want to read or buy advertising or
Right, and then realize when I started talking about a niche in something, she saw that, you know, well, wait a minute, you know, there's something else that I can possibly do that nobody else is doing.
Okay.
And I said, well, that right away is, you know, a better understanding of, you know, entrepreneurship and doing something and being successful. Not doing what everybody else is doing, but doing something that not everyone else is doing and still try to make it work.
Absolutely.
You got to be persistent. You got to be out there hustling all the time. And it's
That's a
not
big
like
word.
it's not like if you're, you know, running a job, you know, because you go to work, you leave, you know, you turn off the lights, your computer, you leave, and that's it. You know, the company stays there and you come back the next day. With your own business, it's not like that. You know, because
those lights never go out.
those lights never go out, but you better turn them off because you're going to pay that bill. You know, it's a little
that's
different.
the other part to it.
And the difference between working 8 hours for someone else and working 24 hours for yourself and basically getting some sleep every other day, you know, I mean, that's the difference. That's being persistent and consistent.
Absolutely, that's the reality. If you're talking about going into business, and this is a great time that we're broadcasting this webisode. It's January. We're fresh. You have a lot of ideas, a lot of desires, and things that you want to do. And let's kind of turn back a little bit to the business community and how you can help them to grow their business this year with the publications and the different events and things that you put on there.
Well, I do a couple of different things. I also have North Coast Entrepreneur, which is not just my publication, but is also a meetup group.
Okay.
You know,
awesome.
and it's on Meetup.
Okay.
And then, you know, if you join that in the Cleveland area, you can also see that we can try to get together with folks and help them in whatever they may need. I'm also the co-chair of the Minority Business Assistant Regional Council, which they meet in Elyria just about every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And one of the things that we do over there is you have businesses that come in from Toledo, Akron, Cleveland, Canton, different areas they come there because we're there as a team to try to help businesses that want to grow. You know, it might be like someone that wants to start an entertainment magazine and all we got to do is direct them, you know, in a certain way. It could be somebody that may not know that SCORE is out there and they can possibly help entrepreneurs because they're retired people that, you know, are willing to work with them.
Yes,
or it can be somebody that has been in construction, you know, for the longest period of time and yet, you know, they don't know how to put together a bid for a process and things like that.
That's
so
right.
those little things like that, you know, we help with. And we've been doing it now with the Minority Business Assistant Council, so much more that we kind of put Lorain County on the map by doing what we were doing over there because when the Minority Business Development Centers came out and they just have one in Cleveland, a lot of the things they were looking at were Cleveland first, and then they looked at Lorain before they looked at Akron.
Wow.
You know, and that's something because, you know, we were getting people right away. People were being certified, you know, through the state. And so they started looking at that right away. Matter of fact, even before the year was out, they picked the actual president of the Urban League in Lorain County to take over the one in Akron.
Wow.
You know, so that was a major transition. And he was working with us, you know, pretty much helping in what we were doing. And we were helping him in pushing the Urban League, you know, to be able to reach out to businesses because they weren't doing that before. Okay. Urban League in Lorain County weren't reaching out to businesses.
It was more for the job market.
It was the job market, helping people in the community, and we pushed not just them. We pushed the Hispanic Leadership Conference last year for them to include entrepreneurs in business because you know you got to remember that the mindset of a nonprofit is not necessarily a business mindset, you know, but they'll be the first ones to run after the businesses to try to get a donation.
Absolutely.
You know, what we try to get them to understand is, hey, you know, you want the businesses to do something for you, you need to do something for the businesses.
That's correct.
You know, do workshops for the businesses, for entrepreneurs, because those are the people that are making, you know, our economy grow.
That's right.
Okay? That goes into you know, my next step, which is one of the reasons that we pick the categories that we pick and the people that we pick. See, we publish custom publications and print media and all that for diverse markets, because they're niche markets. Not everybody's doing a Hispanic directory. The Hispanic Chamber was, and I'm on their board. They stopped doing it 2 years ago, so I picked it up. Okay. So that's one of the things we're doing. Not everybody's doing like anything for the minority business, you know, like we do with the council, or the MBE, which is the Minority Business Entrepreneur. Okay? But yet we have thousands of MBEs in Cleveland, thousands of MBEs in the county, and tens of thousands throughout the state of Ohio. But yet, you know, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, what we have here. So therefore, you know, we decided to do a niche, and you know, do one of the publications for them too.
All right, and it seems to be working fantastic for you. We're going to be right back on the other side of these messages.
New customers are out there looking for what you have to offer. But which site will they find first? Yours or your competitors? Customers use search engines such as Google or Yahoo to find what they're looking for. So a high search engine ranking is vital to give your site a jump on the competition. And that puts you in an ideal position to increase traffic and sales. That's why search engine visibility is essential. Whether you're new to internet commerce or an established pro looking to grow, search engine visibility can increase your site's traffic and sales. It's easy, affordable, and fast. Search engine visibility leads you step by step through actual examples of search engine optimization, hot tips, powerful techniques, best practices and ranking methods. Search engine visibility has it all. But search engine visibility doesn't only help drive new traffic and increase sales. It also helps you monitor, benchmark, and adjust your site's key search engine data. You'll know at a glance which search terms produce strong results and learn to make them even stronger. Search engine visibility even submits your site to hundreds of search engines and online directories automatically. Now you can compare your site to your competitors and pinpoint the top sources of traffic. So are you ready? Then get discovered. Improve your search engine rankings and maximize your traffic and sales with search engine visibility today.
Well, Lou, we left off, we were talking about the different publications, the minority business, and the Latino and the Hispanic business resource directory. Those are some, to me, some great resources, great things that you brought into this community as a foundation. Where do you see yourself going from here? You know, what's next for Lou Acosta?
Well, it's funny you say that, because we broke up the Cleveland Entertainment Coalition, which I was a vice president, you know, about 3-4 years ago. And myself and one of the secretaries, Larry Colville, who runs Little Fish Records, Carlos Jones is one of his, you know, major artists there. We decided to do the music business resource directory.
All right.
Which we were trying to bring it around for the longest period of time, but yet it didn't happen. And we decided to start doing it. Matter of fact, our first one comes out on March 15th.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so anybody who wants to know about the music business, because I did that for a while also here. You know, I brought in a lot of, not a lot, but I brought in record labels from different cities here to Cleveland, to downtown Cleveland, and had young artists and choirs and all kind of people come and audition for them.
All right.
Okay, so we have a city called the Rock and Roll Hall City, but yet, you know, we don't have a music business resource directory or a billboard directory or anything of that, you know, sort that we can go out and find out musicians that we need, or places where they can go, or if somebody wants to be an artist, a commercial recording or something. They don't know who to contact. They just, you know, wait till somebody contacts them or sees them on stage and say, hey, I'm a manager, here's my card, and right away they're going to walk into that. No, this is more
Right.
legitimate. This is
Formalized.
professional people.
Yes.
You know, because I grew up in New York City. You know, through the entertainment industry out there, publishing and
Let me
printing.
stop you right
You
there.
know, so
You're talking about publishing and printing, but you keep
Right.
throwing this entertainment thing in there.
Yeah.
I heard that you can rap a little bit.
Well, I you know, that was a long time ago. You know, and the last things that I did was pretty much for some of the juvenile delinquents and stuff
Okay.
like that, because you know those were the ones that you know were doing it inside. So they brought me into some of the prisons and said, you know what, maybe we can do a workshop, you know, with using rap music, because that's what everybody does here.
Right.
So I started doing that, and then I made my presentations with them, you know, pretty much like that. And so everybody just opened up their arms and they allowed me to come in all the time, and that was it, you know.
Can
So,
you still rap, Lou?
well, you
You
know,
wanna give us a little sample?
okay. You thinking about clocking G's, brother? Please, you need to get down on your knees before you cease to exist. Get out the mix with Satan and the beast wearing 666. Stop trying to be a diehard or live large, because you can't even think right or take charge. You better get on the right side, the word side. I'm not talking about the east, west, north, or south side, or gang banging, or even set claiming. You gotta stop the violence, man. No one is blaming you. Get out the game selling crack or cocaine. They're gonna give you a number, take away your name. Don't get stressed or depressed. Get out the mess. Take a rest so that your life can be blessed. Stop hanging out with all the drugs and all the thugs. Then you can get more love and no slugs. When they with your homies, you pick up the gat. You really think that is fat, man? What's up with that? In the state joint, you don't want to be a resident chasing their president, because you want to represent being hard and doing all your drive-bys. In the joint, you're someone's kid faking suicide. Many worried mothers are coming out to say, please pray so my son doesn't die today.
Oh, wow. We have to take a break after that. Lou Acosta, guys, he is rapping his heart and soul, and I hope you picked up that message. We'll be right back.
Go beyond. People of the world, it's a brand new day. Turn it up, let the music play. Let's go. No stars too bright that you can't catch the light. This is your day to shine.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Audrey Wiggins here on behalf of KeithDavisShow.info. Copy that link to your browser, KeithDavisShow.info, for all of your small business needs. KeithDavisShow.info. Copy it now and grow tomorrow. Well, Lou, our 30 minutes is going. It seems to be going by pretty fast, but I don't know what to come back after that. But the message is one. What message would you have for new businesses, and not necessarily new businesses, but say, for instance, there was a class on the other side of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to them today?
It's going to depend on my audience.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the thing is, if you're consistent with what you do, if you practice best practices, I mean, there's always going to be an open door for you, no matter where it is. It can be someone that's doing a business that needs your help, you know. And if you have something, and don't be afraid to ask somebody, because there are a lot of people out there that are willing to help you. If you have a business, there's a lot of folks out there that can, you know, bring you along. And I'm not talking about some sharks that want to invest in your business and try to take it away or anything like that. But there's a lot of people out there that are willing to help you. All you have to do is look for them. You know, today we have something that we didn't have 25 years ago, which is called the internet. And you can go on the internet with anything you want. You want to learn how to run your business, just click in, hey, want to know how to run my business, how to do a business plan, how to get loans, how to get money, how to do this or do that, whatever it is, the internet can do it. You go to the search engine, go to Google, go to Bing, go to any one of those, Yahoo. Those search engines can bring back information that you don't even have to go to school for anymore, because everything will be there. And another thing, that people are really not up to. They look at YouTube as something that people put in their crazy videos every day. Yeah, they do that, but there's also a lot of important videos on there. If you go to youtube.com and you put electrician tutorials, or you put business tutorials, business plan tutorials, tutorials on how to do photography, how to do videography, how to play an instrument, how to record a record. You know, these things, you know, you can do, and it'll be your own little private little classroom. And you can pick up so much from there, believe me, that all you have to do is one click away. Everything, your success in life is one click away today. And that's it. That, and pray to the Lord to give you strength, health, and peace.
That's it. Well, I can follow that one click away, and making sure that you have that relationship with the Lord. That'll get you where you need to go. Well, Lou, I want to enjoyed our time with you today. Look forward to having you back again and working on some different things. Oh, before we go, you have an event coming up in a few months or a couple of months that you're working on?
Yeah, the Minority Business Assistant Regional Council is having their black tie, another black tie. I started them on a black tie thing because a lot of them didn't know what a black tie event was. And after the first one, they wanted to do a second one.
That's
so
awesome.
this one for February 11th, it's going to be in Elyria at the Ramada Inn in Elyria, Ohio. Okay, we're going to have a red tie event. So you can have a red bow tie and a little handkerchief. And the women would wear red, something red, okay, to match the men, of course, but they're going to be tuxedo down. Women are dressed to impress.
All
it
right,
doesn't matter.
Got to get my outfit together.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you wear, you know, a handkerchief, red shades, whatever. Well, women have to wear something red, but the men are going to be in their bow ties and their red handkerchiefs, and they're going to dress to impress. And that we're going to have, matter of fact, we're going to have a nice Latin and jazz band there, like we had last time. Everybody enjoyed it. We're going to have probably one quick speaker. We're going to have some networking people, vendors there. And the thing about it, everybody enjoyed themselves. They learned so much because what we did was all our sponsors there got a chance to speak about their business. Just like I'm speaking here, they got a chance to speak about their business and network with other folks. So it wasn't a thing where they just had their little table there and somebody came to them and somebody didn't. No, I went around and made sure that with the microphone in my hand, they introduced themselves while everybody else was quiet, and everybody in that place heard what they did for a few minutes. And we went around and did it with everybody. So when the break came, the people got up and went right to them because they heard of something that can help them. And that's the way networking should be. It shouldn't be an after-hour place where singles come to meet and have a drink and that's it. And somebody's supposed to pass around business cards, but yet nobody's listening to nobody because they're either stoned or out of their head or something's going on.
Just don't know.
Business is basically networking, learning about everybody that's there. And not only the sponsors, but all the businesses that were around in tables. We went to them and we showed them. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you a clip of that. I'm going to make sure that Miss Audrey gets a copy of that so this way you can see a clipping of our black tie affair. But it's coming up again February 11th. This one is going to be the red tie and masquerade ball affair. Why? Because it's Valentine's Day. And nobody does a masquerade ball during Valentine's Day, so we're going to do it.
Something different.
Yeah, something different. I mean, if you're going to come in dressed to impress, and the guy's going to come in with tuxedos on, trust me, we're going to make it a ball. So you can come in there and you can purchase a little mask and come in there and have a little bit of class because that's what it's all about. Put value on what you do, okay? And it'll be valuable not just to you, but also to others.
And with that, we're going to conclude another webisode of Make Something Happen. Lou Acosta, you brought a lot of energy and a lot of good, solid information to our program and our viewers. It's been my honor to have you here, and I look forward again, to having you again. With that, we're going to say good night, or good afternoon, or good morning, remembering this is a global show.